Thought about selling your house? Well, here's what you need to do first. McCord with Coakley Realty here, your Metro DC real estate agent. And I'm here bringing you some key tips to prep your house to get it sold. Prepping your house to sell is usually about the presentation. So today we're going to talk about different things that you can do to make your house more appealing to the masses. First things first, the front yard, curb appeal. Go for a clean, streamlined look. Depersonalize, take some of the personal items that you have in your front yard. Growing up, I had a neighbor who had all those, those little, what do they call it, gnomes in their front yard. Yeah, that might be great for you and you might really like your gnome collection, but it's a little too personal. People need to feel as if they're walking up to the house of their dreams. And for most people, the house of their dreams doesn't come with a gnome in the front yard. If you have bikes, kid toys, things of that nature, just make sure they're out of the front yard. No bikes just trashed in the yard. If you have trash cans visible in the front yard, my suggestion would be either put them in the garage or a shed. And if you don't have a garage or a shed, just tuck them behind the house so that you can't see them as you're walking to the front of your house from the street. If you like to garden and you have a lot of potted plants around, my suggestion would be to display a couple of them, but kind of hide the rest of them. Maybe go knock on a neighbor's door and say, hey, can I stash these here as I have people coming over to look at the house? The next thing you can do is freshen up the look. There are repairs and replacements that you just quite haven't gotten around to. Now would be a great time to get around to those things as you're looking to sell your house. If you need to repair or replace old windows, storm doors, screen doors, things of that nature, this would be the time to do it. To freshen up the look, you can paint the exterior of the house and the front door. Keep in mind, if you have a homeowners association, you might have some guidelines about what colors and how you can paint your front door. Make sure you check with them first. Paint trim around the house. It seems simple, but just a fresh coat of paint on some trim really goes a long way. Replace fixtures. If you have old bathroom fixtures and they're rotted out or they just don't look great or they just look dated, you might want to think about replacing those to really increase the number of people that are really going to enjoy this house as they see it. Power wash. If you have a house with siding and it looks a little dirty, a little grimy maybe, you got some stuff growing on the side of your house, you may consider power washing to just clean that up a little bit. Speaking of clean, keep it clean. The whole entire house. Clean and repair any paving that you have around the house, patios and things of that nature. Wash your windows, both inside and out. Modern windows today are typically not that difficult to clean, the outsides and the insides. Obviously the insides, if you're inside the house, you can just spray them down with your cleaner of choice and wipe them down, make sure they look good and clean from the inside. But a lot of the modern windows now, you're able to tilt the windows in so that you can clean the outside without either A, getting on ladders, doing all the hard manual labor of being outside while you clean. And it also saves you some money so that you don't have to hire a window washer. Clean and repair the roof. The roof is one of the first things people see from the street based on how high your house is. So if you have a 2 or 3 story house, they might not see the roof, but if you have a house that is 1 story, or if there's an overhang that you can see from the street, I would say that it might be in your best interest to take a look up there. If you see things like moss growing on the roof, it's time to clean that bad boy. Clean the gutters as well. Gutters get very dirty, and if they haven't been cleaned in a while, I wouldn't be surprised if you got plants growing out of them. So make sure you get up there and clean the gutters, whether you do it yourself or you hire someone. I think this is worth the investment. Also, if you see any missing or broken shakes or tiles, this would be the perfect time to replace those as well. Landscaping sells homes. Everybody likes to pull up to a well-manicured lawn, so make sure that you cut the grass, trim and mow, make sure everything looks nice and beautiful. Thoughtful plant groupings in your garden are usually held in higher esteem than just individual flowers planted around your yard. Install lighting. This becomes a little less difficult with today's technology with all these solar-powered lights, and you can just go to your local Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever your hardware store is, your hardware store of choice is, and you may be able to just find these cool little solar lights that really they just kind of stick right into the ground. You know, there's no wiring required. You don't have to worry about an outlet, plugging them in, getting electrocuted, any of that stuff. Let the sun do all the work for you. Improve or shrink the lawn. Yeah, I said shrink it. So if you have a yard that is hard to maintain because it is vast, or there's various terrains throughout your front yard, you might want to consider maybe shrinking it down a little bit. And by shrink it down, I mean you can add things like pavers or stone, or depending on where you live, if you're out by the beach, maybe shells to take up some of that space so it's less maintenance and you can keep it nice and clean looking. Edge your garden, folks. Make sure people can tell where the garden starts and where either your lawn or whatever other landscaping that you have ends. These are your tips for prepping to sell your house. Make sure you like the video, comment. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section. Subscribe. Make sure you click on that little, what's it, a bell? A little thing that's, I don't know which direction it is. It used to be down there. Now I think it's way up there, but click on that little bell so that you get an update every time I drop a new video, which will be weekly. Have a great day. Get your house sold. Call me to do it.